Could one of the reasons your blood pressure is rising, your sleep is suffering, and your stress feels overwhelming be that you're ignoring one of God's most overlooked health prescriptions? As a nurse, I spent time caring for people who were worn down by chronic stress, exhaustion, anxiety, and high blood pressure. And one thing I've learned is this: the human body was never designed to run nonstop. Yet that's exactly how many of us live. We're always working, we're always checking our phones, we're always rushing to the next thing. And eventually, our health begins to pay the price. What many people don't realize is that God addressed this problem thousands of years ago. He did this, in fact, when He placed the solution right in the Ten Commandments. Exodus 20, verse 8 says, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy." Now, most people read that as a religious command, but I want you to consider something. What if it's also one of God's greatest health prescriptions? Now, let me explain. When you're under constant stress, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. Now, cortisol, it isn't bad, but God designed it to help you respond to challenges and emergencies. The problem comes when cortisol never comes back down. Many adults today are living with elevated stress levels day after day, month after month, and year after year. Think of cortisol like a fire alarm. A fire alarm is incredibly useful during an emergency, but imagine trying to live in a house where the alarm never stops ringing. Now, eventually, you would wear down. That's what chronic stress does to the body. Your nervous system always stays activated. Your muscles stay tense, and your sleep becomes lighter. Your blood pressure often rises, and your body never gets the recovery time it was designed to have. A weekly day of rest helps interrupt that cycle. It gives your body permission to recover. It allows your stress response system to settle down and return to a healthier rhythm. Now, scientists call this the HPA axis, the communication system between the brain and the adrenal glands that controls your stress response. When stress becomes chronic, that system can stay activated far longer than God intended. Regular periods of genuine rest help restore the balance. But that's not all. When you slow down and engage in activities like prayer and worship and quiet reflection and spending time in nature, something else happens. Your parasympathetic nervous system becomes more active. This is often called the rest and digest system. It's the opposite of fight or flight. What happens here is the heart rate slows, the breathing deepens, muscles relax, and stress hormones begin to decline. See, as a nurse, I've seen firsthand what happens when people never give their bodies a chance to enter into this state. And I've also seen the benefits when they do. Now, catch this: the Sabbath isn't just helping your mind, it's helping your blood vessels too. Oh, that's right. The inside lining of your blood vessels is called the endothelium. And when stress is constant, that endothelium doesn't function very well. But during periods of rest and recovery, blood vessels function, blood vessel function can improve. Your body is able to produce more nitric oxide. Now, nitric oxide helps blood vessels relax and widen. Blood flows more easily, and circulation improves. Blood pressure often moves into a healthier direction. Think about think about that for a moment. God built these systems, these principles into the human physiology thousands of years before medical science even understood them. But the Sabbath isn't only about physical health. It's also about our relationship with God. And it's important to understand what Sabbath rest is not. Sabbath rest is not legalism. In Jesus' day, religious leaders piled rule upon rule onto the Sabbath until it became a burden. That was never God's intention. Jesus said in Mark 2, verse 27, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was created as a gift. The Sabbath was to be a blessing a benefit and certainly not a burden. And Sabbath rest is not laziness. Rest is not doing nothing. Rest is intentionally stepping away from ordinary labor so that you can reconnect with God and experience renewal. Now, think of it this way: you don't change the oil in your car because you want to drive less. You change the oil because you want the engine to last longer. The Sabbath is God's maintenance plan for the human body, mind, and spirit to last longer. So, how can you practice the Sabbath rest after 50? Let me give you 5 practical ideas. First, disconnect. Turn off the news, put away all the social media, and silence the constant stream of notifications. The Sabbath is an opportunity to let your mind slow down and your nervous system breathe. Second, spend time outdoors. Take a walk, sit on a porch, just admire and enjoy God's wonderful creation. In Psalm 19, verse 1, it says, "The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament sheweth his handiwork." Fresh air, sunlight, movement can refresh both body and mind. Third, spend time in prayer and worship. Psalms 46, verse 10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness isn't wasted time, it's often where healing begins. And fourth, reconnect with family and friends. I enjoy this one. Share a meal, talk, fellowship, spend time together, laugh, encourage one another. It's a beautiful thing. Proverbs 17, verse 22 says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine." God designed relationships to contribute to our well being. And fifth, prioritize sleep. Let the peace of the Sabbath continue into the evening. And give your body permission to recover. Sleep is one of God's most powerful tools for restoration. So here's what I want you to remember: the fourth commandment isn't just theology, it's physiology. And your body is God's temple. And the Sabbath is part of God's design for maintaining that temple. It's His weekly prescription for rest, renewal, and restoration. So, how are you honoring God's prescription for rest this week? Tell me in the comments below. And if you enjoy content that combines biblical principles with modern science, be sure to subscribe to Healthy Aging God's Way. And by the way, if you're serious about lowering belly fat and supporting healthy blood pressure, download my free 7-day belly fat and blood pressure reset PDF. You'll find the link in the description. Until next time, keep aging God's way.